Alright, you are welcome to this video, and in this lesson we have another question on related rate. And the question says a ladder 10 meters long is leaning against a vertical wall. The bottom of the ladder is sliding away from the wall at 2 meters per second. How fast is the top, that is the top of this ladder, the top here, sliding down when the bottom is 6 meters from the wall? First of all, what do we have? We have that this ladder we are seeing here, the ladder itself is 10 meters long. So we have 10 meters here, and the ladder leans against a vertical wall. The bottom of this ladder is sliding away from the wall at 2 meters per second. That is the rate at which that ladder is sliding away from this bottom. Now, how fast is the top of the ladder sliding down when the bottom is 6 meters away from the wall? This bottom you are seeing here, let us label it as x, is equal to 6 meters away from the wall. That is, we don't know what this place is. So if we don't know what here is, what is this? Let us come back here again. The bottom of this ladder is sliding away from the wall at 2 meters every second. That is, every second this ladder slides away 2 meters. So this is equal to the x dt. The x dt is equal to what? 2 meters per second. Now what do we need? What do we have? We need to find our y. This place should be y. So let's go. So since we have here and we have here, we can actually use the Pythagoras theorem to find the value of y. So we can use line AC squared is equal to line AB squared plus line BC squared. So AC is 10 squared is equal to AB, we don't know, which is y squared plus 6 squared. So 10 squared is 100 is equal to y squared plus 6 squared is 36. So 100 minus 36 is equal to what? 64 is equal to y squared. This will imply therefore this will imply y squared is equal to 64. That is, so if this is true, by taking the root of both sides, we have y to be equal to 64 all root, which is equal to 8 meters. So here is equal to 8 meters. If here is 8 meters, here we know here from this Pythagoras here, if I come back here, we know here that x squared plus y squared will be equal to 10 squared, right? Will be equal to 10 squared, and what we have been asked to find is equal to the x dt that we have, and we don't have what the y dt is. So we'll be differentiating all this with respect to t. So here becomes 2x dx dt plus 2y dy dt is equal to 0. So what do we have again? We have what the x dt is, which is 2. So, and we have what x is, which is 6. So we have 2 into 6 into 2 plus 2 into 8. And we have been asked to find the y dt because the question says we should find how fast the top is sliding down. That is our dy dt. So we have dy and over dt equals to 0. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. When we move that here, it becomes negative 24. So here is 16. Dy dt is equal to 16 is equal to negative 24 24. So at the end, dy dt is equal to negative 24 all over 16, which is equal to 4 here is 4. 4 here is 6. So we have negative 6 over 4, which takes us to 2 we go here, negative 3 all over 2. So this is the rate at which the top of the ladder is sliding down, and the rate will also be in meters per second. That is the answer to this question. Thank you, and see you in the next lesson.